Hey, what is going on, my friends, and welcome back to another video on the channel. Well, yesterday on the channel I did make a video about GAXY Next Generation, basically highlighting their earnings calls, and we went over what exactly their quarterly reports are, some of their financials, and all of the improvements that they made. Now, following this earnings call, we also did get a Q&A where Megan McGahey, she answered a whole bunch of different questions that a lot of investors had, and I think that it's going to provide us with a much better outlook of what the future of GAXY Next Generation is going to be. She actually did answer a few questions that I think are going to be very important, and I think that it has shown us that there are even more catalysts with GAXY Next Generation going into the future that none of us, or me personally at least, have really talked about on this channel. And so whenever it does come to today's video, I'm basically just going to be highlighting three new catalysts that I think are going to be fantastic for GAXY Next Generation. I think these are three very positive things that can directly affect their stock price and hopefully help us reach an uplisting one day in the future here. With that being said, if you do want to stay as up to date as possible about all your favorite stocks, if you do want to know all of my trades, have access to my trade portfolio, and early access to the content and the subjects in which I will be posting on this channel, definitely consider going down to the link in the description. It'll bring you over to my Patreon, and that is where I am fully transparent with all that information. Also, if you are looking to expand out to a new brokerage or start your own investing and trading journey, I would definitely recommend using the referral link down in the description for Webull. If you do sign up and you deposit $100, only $100, you can get 2 free stocks valued up to $1,850. This is a fantastic brokerage. This is a fantastic opportunity, and I would really use this, especially if you're trying to kickstart your own day trading or investing journey. So with that being said, let's go ahead and let's take a look at what was said during this Q&A. Let's take a look at what all has been going on for GAXY Next Generation and what I believe are going to be 3 new catalysts that are going to really set this business up for success. So the very first aspect of the business that I really do think is going to be a very good next step for GAXY Next Generation, and something that they're accomplishing that is going to be phenomenal, especially for their financials, is the fact that right here they reported saying that, so having said that, it's kind of a direct reflection on our reduction in quarterly operating loss. We did have an increase in revenue and a reduction in losses. So with the addition of 2 offices, this 6 months we added an office in Jacksonville and an office in Arizona. They added 5 new full-time employees, 3 consultants, and they were still able to show that decrease in loss and increase in revenue. Now, someone else that they did bring on, they brought on a COO, and you know they are getting paid. And so with that being said, I think this alone is going to be fantastic for GAXY Next Generation going forward, because it shows that they are now capable of reaching levels of extreme profitability. Right? Because something we have to think about. Think about this. So GAXY Next Generation focuses on selling products to the K-12 educational market. That's like their main focus at the moment. And then we have to consider the year in which they did have last year, whenever we're talking about the educational market. How everything closed down, many schools closed down, the majority of every single school in the US was closed. And we have to consider the fact that GAXY Next Generation, during that, while pretty much their entire consumer base was very, very limited, and the products in which they could even sell was very limited, because there's certain products they have that belong in a classroom, but classrooms aren't even occupied. So we have to think about this. Throughout that entire year, they were capable of increasing their revenue and decreasing their overall losses that they were taking from operations, all while having 5 new full-time employees, adding 2 new offices, and hiring 3 consultants. So realistically, if you look at this in a broad sense, you would think, man, well, if their consumers were having such a bad year and they're bringing more people on, you would think that their revenue would go down and that their overall, net loss would go up, as well as they have to pay out so many more people and operate these new facilities. But that's not the case. GAXY Next Generation has been on top of their game. They have been doing a fantastic job of figuring out the best way to balance out their financials, and I think that this is going to be a very good sign going into the future, and this will be a catalyst for future growth, as I do believe that this trend is going to continue in cost reduction and revenue increase, and I think that that is going to allow them to reach some very, very strong levels of financial stability very, very soon. So the next thing that I did want to talk about with this company that I didn't mention in the previous Catalyst video is that they are working very, very hard to increase their partnerships. They have their whole OEM business in which they're focusing on right now, but we are really, really seeing them expand their relationships with many of their different partners. Now, if we do go right here, it says that we added Cove Shield customers everywhere from Pennsylvania to California, Texas, and several in between. We did expand our relationship with Technology Core, who is the distributor in the Australian market. They made a partnership with Strand for Kind, which is a nonprofit and high high buying correlation. Again, just reiterating our message that our total business strategy is to protect our customers, which we see as the end user of the students. So basically what I'm saying is so important with this is that the majority of these results in which they have been seeing has simply been GAXY Next Generation doing everything, right? They're not really, at the time, the majority of this report, they weren't really working with too many partners. They weren't trying to spread out into other countries. I think they did have some orders from Canada, but that was about it. But what they're doing now is they're focused on getting these out into other markets. They're working with certain companies like Technology Core, again, who is out in the Australian market, to overall increase their consumer base, to increase their potential opportunity. And whenever you mix that and with the fact that they're starting to get their financials on board, that means that this company is setting themselves up for success, because not only have they figured out a way to be doing very well financially now, within this last 6 months, they're doing very well financially, and they were doing that basically on their own. So now we have to consider how much further a partnership out in an Australian market, somewhere that they've never even tapped into yet, how well that could help out their financials and how much that can allow them to grow over the next couple of years. And that is a very, very big aspect of this business, as I think it will dramatically affect their financials, and we could really see their financials grow substantially. And so the next catalyst is going to be something that could have been taken negatively, but I actually think it does show some positive foresight, and I'll explain that in a second here. So the operator says, what part of the business is giving you the most trouble now? Megan McGahey says that, so I think as we've grown to the level that we have, our biggest challenge is in marketing and branding. We have the products, our products are outstanding, they won awards, they hold patents, all that kind of list that goes on and on. But there are certain geographical areas still in the US that don't know GAXY as a household name in education. And that's something that we're trying to change. Again, not to add additional crushers in Mr. Brinkman, but bringing him on as COO and having him build out that team is really going to assist us to have local support in some of these areas to push that brand. We also have increased our marketing, so what we see is, I guess, branding is our biggest challenge. She says that we've already kind of addressed it in a lot of ways. We've launched a new website, which is beautiful. We have new product videos being built. We are trying to develop our messages of really creating a safe environment that enhances learning for students, and we'll continue to kind of harp on that until the mainstream customer or consumer understands our messaging and who we are and how much we can actually provide to them. So I actually believe that this is a very good thing, and it kind of goes back to the reasoning as to why I said their partnerships are a good thing, as I believe that this is a good thing. We have seen their financials make a complete turnaround. A complete 180. This company has absolutely started to figure out what direction they're going to go on, and they ran, right? So the great thing about that is that they are performing phenomenally right now without even reaching their full marketing potential. They're just starting to figure out how to market their company. We have to consider they just launched a website that looks pretty good, right? They've had a website that's been kind of meh, honestly, for years, and they finally are figuring out the best ways to market and advertise their company in order to grow their message. So considering the fact that they are performing so well already, while they haven't even figured out how in the world they're going to be marketing these things and getting all these different resellers, that just shows me that as they do work with the COO and as he does build out that team, that it is going to allow them to grow substantially, and that is going to allow them to reach new consumer bases, which again, just like the partnerships, is going to bring in more revenue, which would definitely be reflected in their quarterly and their financial reports. And that is an amazing thing to me personally, because if a company wasn't performing well, but they hadn't figured out how to market their products, well, I would say you're not doing well because you can't market your products. Well, this company's doing well without already knowing how to market their products that well. So what will that mean for this company as they do learn how to market their products? Well, it means that they're going to just do even better. That provides even more opportunity, even more potential for this company. And I think that is a part of the reason as to why I'm so adamant and dominant that I do believe this stock is going to be at over $1 by the end of the year. I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice, but it is my true opinion, and I really do believe that they are going to do it. I think they're going to uplist by the end of this year, and they are going to continue to dominate their industry. I'm very excited about this. I think these three catalysts are, something that I never even really considered before, but after hearing from Megan McGahey and seeing them, I am even more confident in my investments, even more confident in this company, and I really do believe that they have what it takes to continue to see success. Definitely let me know your thoughts on these three different catalysts. What are some thoughts that you have around other catalysts, and what do you think this all means for GAXY Next Generation? Definitely let me know down in the comment section below, and if you did enjoy today's video, you can let me know by smashing that like button and subscribing to the channel. With that being said, I do post 2 to 3 times every single day, and I'll see you all in the next video. Peace.